Fenugreek is a diverse herb. It's fascinating, and it has a lot of medicinal benefits. Come on over and learn with me. Hi, everybody. So, sorry it wasn't on last week. I was camping with my family, and I that really showed me because I wasn't like I knew I was going camping, but I didn't prepare my brain. And like I even forgot my computer at work on Saturday or on Friday before I went camping. And so when I got back and I had to work from home on Thursday, I didn't have my computer. So I had to go in for a couple hours, get the computer work and stuff like that, and then go back home to work after lunch. And it was just a pain in the butt, and it really threw me for a loop in a lot of things. My whole day kind of went after that. So, um, don't ask about camping. Don't ask. I got to relax a lot. We're going to talk about fenugreek today, and I'm very glad you're here with me. I brought actually my stash. Well, this is part of my stash of fenugreek. So it's just a powder. This is powder. It is the seeds powdered down. That's all it is. It has a scent. It's something we'll kind of talk about. It's like a maple butterscotchy type flavor scent, and it doesn't smell bad. I mean, we like those scents, the maple and the butterscotch, but it seems weird. Like there's some people who think it smells garlicky, and I do not feel that. I feel it's a very sweet scent. It's used in Indian food. Ooh, excuse me. I haven't been sleeping very well. I know. I have things I can take. I'm just trying to let my body figure out what it's doing. So anyway, fenugreek can help increase breast milk production, manage blood sugar levels, lower cholesterol, and alleviate menstrual cramps, among other things. It is believed to also enhance testosterone levels in men and overall health support. I mean, you're gonna be surprised. A disclaimer, I am not a doctor, I am an herbalist. I should probably also add that, I'm a mother of four, and my kids have a lot of doctor's visits growing up. So I've learned a lot, researched a lot, I've studied a lot. No, I'm not a doctor, but I have a lot of experiences. I have tested a lot of herbs on myself. Um, my daughter has done the same, and it's a lot of things that I tell you that are off of my script is from experience. Um, if I don't have experience with it, I usually tell you. So um, I can only tell you based on my own experience and my own research. So that's just how it is. Anyways, I have my script over here. It's kind of script. It's like what I refer to. It has quotes from websites. It has scientific studies and research included. And I post all the links that I have gleaned my information from down in the description below for you to do your own research, because that is the huge part here. Please do your own research. I don't want anybody hurt by any sort of misinformation because even my own experiences aren't necessarily yours. So there you go. Fenugreek. It is a clover-like herb that produces leaves which, with each having three obovate or oblong leaflets. I'll put a picture up here again. The seed tastes and smells a lot like maple syrup. Mhm. People have used fenugreek and its seeds as ingredients in several types of cuisines. Fenugreek is an annual plant that is also known as methi, M-T, M-E-T-H-I. It is a member of the bean family, and it is scientifically named Fabaceae. It is native to the Middle and Near East, and it is widely used in Indian subcontinents. This annual plant has small round leaves. This is even evidence that the ancient Egyptians understood the benefits of this herb as its seeds have been found in tombs, particularly those of Tutankhamun. King Tut? Yeah, they found everything in his whatever. The plant is grown in countries across the globe, but the majority is cultivated and consumed in India. So, in India, the entire plant is considered edible. The fresh leaves are cooked like spinach. In North India, dried leaves are added to curry. Powdered seed has a scent of maple and butterscotch, and in Indian cuisine, it is toasted in hot oil to enhance its flavor further. In southern India, it is added to fish curries and also used in sambar. Apparently, it's a vegetable lentil stew. Furthermore, the ground seeds are used to add a maple flavor to foods, beverages, candies, tobacco, imitation maple syrup, as well as cosmetics and perfumes. The Commission E approves the internal use of fenugreek as an appetite stimulant and its external use as a poultice. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit more too. Fenugreek is considered an energetically heating with a pungent, bitter, sweet taste. That's an oxymoron, but whatever. We'll go with it because that is literally how you describe the flavor of fenugreek. The plant's seeds and leaves, whole, crushed, powdered, and ground into flour, are all used culinary. I mean, fenugreek leaves, also known as the methi, are commonly used in Indian cuisine. We kind of talked about that. Fenugreek seeds are the part of the plant, though, that are commonly used, most commonly used. The benefits include lowering blood sugar levels, reducing cholesterol, increasing testosterone levels, improving lung function in individuals with asthma. The fiber-rich seeds may also do boost breast milk production and ease menstrual cramps. There's more. We'll get to it. Active ingredients: galactomannan fiber, hydroxysolacine, saponins, which include glycosides and diasgenin. It's here. It's here. Alkaloids, C-glycoside, flavones, glycolipids, oleic acid, linoleic acid, and linoleic acid. There's SNIC and IC. Vitamins A, B1, B2, which is niacin. Actually, B3 is niacin. What's B2 called? Because I can't have that one. And C, vitamins A, B1, B2, B3, and C. Minerals: potassium, magnesium, calcium, zinc, copper, iron, manganese. So it has other names, and I didn't know any of these. I didn't recognize, but it's trigonella, bird's foot, uh, cinegrain. I guess there's other names, but I had never even heard of any of those. Let me know if you have. Two systematic reviews examined fenugreek's benefits for controlling blood glucose, blood sugars. According to another systematic review, fenugreek has the following effects: reduced fasting blood sugar levels, lowered 2 hours post. It also lowered blood sugar levels even after the meal. So the reduced fasting, that fasting's before the other one that I'm not going to even bother pronouncing, is the after meal blood sugar. But it also lowered those levels within 2 hours because they had fenugreek in their system. It also decreased A1Cs. And A1C is the average blood sugar for the last 3 months. Fenugreek is available in various dosage forms. You can buy cooked leaves, raw seeds, powders, extracts. And those are what they use in the studies. So one thing it does, and one of the reasons that I used it, haven't used past tense. I did use it. I kind of, I'll talk about it as it happens. The gut health one, it did help. Um, it got me through some things that bad eating over a vacation cost. A 2020 study conducted on mice suggested that fenugreek can improve gut microbiota. And the study authors suggested that this benefit helps offset the adverse effects of high-fat diets, which are prevalent in Western countries. Well, not me, but like I live in a Western country. Traditional Chinese medicine recommends the use of fenugreek for patients suffering with various kidney conditions. According to an animal study, fenugreek may help reduce kidney calcification and lower the risk of developing kidney stones. It also is good for a sore throat. Also, the common cold and a cough. A review study found that seeds, these are the seeds, can help clear up the throat and act as a mucus solvent. I can concur. That is what it does. It also can be used for asthma, hay fever, tuberculosis, sinusitis, and constipation. It will help with all of those things. We touched on how it will help control diabetes and blood sugar levels. So this is where I'll just preface this. And we're going to talk about it a little bit later. Well, like right now, if you're on diabetes medication, don't take this medicinally. Don't do it. In one study, individuals with type 2 diabetes who took 5 grams of fenugreek seed powder twice daily for 2 months experienced a reduction in fasting blood sugar levels, abdominal fat, and BMI. Also, the A1Cs were reduced as well. So that's, those people, they're not giving those people the medications while they're taking the fenugreek study. So there's no interactions. A high fiber content of fenugreek powder or seeds also support the blood sugar management even within people without diabetes. So like everybody has blood sugar that basically just up and down based on what you eat. You eat um, higher fat foods, higher sugar foods, your blood sugar is going to raise. And if you eat like all vegetables, it's gonna well, carrots will still raise it up and stuff like that. Because, I mean, there are natural sugars and things too. And it is not abnormal for our blood sugars to vary before and after meals. Um, it is when it never regulates that the insulin resistance grows and your body can't. It's basically your body forgetting what it's supposed to do. Um, it does that often to people, and that's why people end up at doctors all the time, because their body just doesn't know how to react, and they don't know how to regulate itself anymore. It doesn't. It forgets because we're pushing so much processed and unnatural things in it. It just doesn't do its job correctly. So researchers found that replacing 10% of the refined wheat flour in buns and flatbreads with fenugreek powder significantly reduced blood sugar levels in individuals without diabetes after consuming these foods. Because carbs raises blood sugar. It just does. I mean, it does, but then we're supposed to move and be active and exercise, and then that balances it out. But most people sit. I try to be as active as possible. This has been a tough year. But I'm still active, just not like the heat has been so bad. Anyway, try to remain as active as possible because it balances things out for your body. Several clinical studies have found that adding fenugreek powder to hot water, what you call that, like tea, or you can put it in bread recipes, benefits people with diabetes. Okay. Doctors recorded several vital signs, including blood sugars, of those in the study before and after adding fenugreek to their diet. Participants in the study exhibited lower blood sugar levels after consuming the fenugreek powder. In smaller studies, people with diabetes reported lower sugar levels and noted better insulin response when they took 1 gram of fenugreek daily. So, I didn't notice this ahead of time. But up at the top, it says it stimulates appetite. But here, it now says that it helps with weight management. I mean, I guess technically you can kind of do both. Kind of. We'll see. The soluble fiber in fenugreek seeds may be beneficial for those. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Beneficial for those trying to reach or maintain a healthy weight. I mean, because there are people who struggle with not being able to put on the weight. So my deduction here is that it just balances out. Like, okay, let me continue. Several studies have suggested that fenugreek seeds may have the potential to control hunger and reduce food intake, but it also shows that it can increase thermogenesis, the process by which your body creates heat and uses energy, and it can promote and increase the number of calories you burn throughout the day. maybe it does what your body needs it to do. Because it did say up at the top that it stimulates appetite. And because it's sweet, sweet things tend to stimulate your appetite, where savory is supposed to satiate. So make everything happy. I don't know. There's some words out there that really, Okay. So there's a 2020 research review, though, that did say that in 12 clinical trials, they didn't find that it had any significant impact on body weight or BMI. So you can take that or leave that as you decide. Several studies suggest that fenugreek may alleviate symptoms of indigestion, heartburn, abdominal distension, and other types of stomach discomfort. One research review mentions that the galactomannan, which is fiber, and fenugreek may be especially helpful in managing upper gastrointestinal symptoms and conditions. And yes, it does those things. It has helped with many different discomforts, heartburn specifically. Um, Usually I drink it as a tea to acquire that. Yes. To to acquire feeling better. It also can lower cholesterol. The results of a systematic review suggest that fenugreek reduces total cholesterol levels, triglycerides. So it really is the bad cholesterols that it reduces. I still have a lot of opinions there, and based on just studies that I've done and found, no, I can't cite them. I'm sorry. I didn't know at the time that I was learning it that I was going to be doing this, so that I needed to keep it. So it also increases the HDL, the good cholesterol, which is really, really what we want. So it also helps with breast milk production, which we talked about. It's a galactagogue, which means that it helps increase milk production. However, the studies are mixed. I think it's because some people's bodies don't work the way they're supposed to, so it doesn't work for those people's bodies. And it won't hurt you to find out. So well-designed studies may help evaluate the effectiveness and safety of fenugreek and other galactagogues. A 14-day study of 78 new mothers conducted over a more extended period found that drinking herbal tea with fenugreek seeds increased breast milk production, which helped babies gain more weight. In a 2011 study, split 66 mothers into 3 groups. One received fenugreek tea, the second group received a placebo, and the third group received nothing. Volume of breast milk increased from around 1.15 ounces or 34 milliliters in the core control group, and placebo groups to 2.47 ounces in the fenugreek group. Okay, so it was only milk production only increased 1.15 ounces in the placebo groups, and in the fenugreek group, it increased 2.47 ounces. So it works. In a 2020 case control study, mothers with newborns and complaints of insufficient milk were given water soaked with fenugreek. The researchers found associated increase in milk production as documented by increased frequency in urination and higher weight gain among the newborns in the Fenugreek subjects compared to the control group. Because when you breastfeed, your milk supply might decrease due to stress or fatigue. So if you have, like, say you have baby blues, go drink some fenugreek tea because it'll help with a lot. It'll keep your body from producing the effects of the stress that you might be feeling. So it'll also help with dysmenorrhea, which is painful menstrual cramps. In a systematic review, there was limited evidence to support using supplements like fenugreek for menstrual cramps. It also will control menopause symptoms, and that is the initial reason that I took fenugreek. It was recommended to me for hormone balance, and I'm not in menopause, I'm in like peri/pre, but it did, I feel like it helped. I was taking it in combination with other herbs that were also recommended. So I feel like it did help. One study found that fenugreek extract with 250 milligrams twice daily, taken for 42 days, helped reduce vasomotor symptoms and depression in perimenopausal women. Vasomotor symptoms includes things like night sweats and hot flashes and stuff like that. So it can reduce symptoms of PCOS. I know a lot of women who have that. That's basically when a specific group of sex hormones called androgens, you produce too much of them. It causes infertility, irregular menstrual periods, cysts, pelvic pain. I can imagine it's just terrible. But and they're more likely to get diabetes as well. So in a small clinical trial, 50 study participants took two 500 milligram capsules of Ferrocist daily for 90 days. It is, Ferrocist is the brand name of a specific fenugreek seed extract. At the end of the clinical trial, 46% of participants had smaller ovarian cysts and additional 36% reported no further cysts at all. So, moreover, 71% of studies participants reported regular periods, while 12% became pregnant. And that is a big thing because getting pregnant with having PCOS is pretty much impossible. It's really close to impossible. It has been known to happen. There were no changes in blood sugar, triglycerides, and high density in the good cholesterol in the ones who got pregnant. So it can improve lung function for people with asthma. They recommend it as an add-on to albuterol. It can boost sexual health, both males and females. So it basically just boosts libido, and it can also improve symptoms of ED, and those can be combined with other supplements. Um, there's quite a few. If you're interested in knowing about them, let me know. So there's the symptoms of menopause can be lessened using fenugreek. including the libido and atrophy, because it has been found to be an adequate replacement for synthetic estrogen products. Studies found that it has beneficial effects, including an increased libido. In one older study, taking 300 milligrams of fenugreek twice daily for 8 weeks led to significant increases in testosterone levels in men when combined with resistance training. Participants also experienced a reduction in body fat compared to the control group, without any decrease in muscle strength. A 2020 study of 138 male participants were divided into 3 groups, and those who took 600 milligrams of testofen, which is a supplement derived from fenugreek, those who took 300 milligrams of the testofen, and those who took placebo. Okay, so 600, 300, and nothing. 3 different groups. And participants were randomly assigned a group without knowing which group they were in, and the group who took 600 milligrams had a decrease in body mass and body fat, but an increase in lean mass. They also had a measurable increase in testosterone concentration. So that study said that it worked for them. Make your own decisions. You can go down and look through the links and find the study yourself if you like. That's why I put them down there. So other potential benefits are it can potentially combat hair loss in men and women when combined with other ingredients. And peppermint's a good one for that. It can improve skin health, combat signs of aging because it's an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. We know that. And it can also reduce the inflammation related to Alzheimer's. It can also help reduce inflammation in like arthritis, treats wounds and gastrointestinal ailments. We talked about that. It can battle free radicals because of its antioxidant properties. In Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine, it's used to induce labor and aid digestion. It also just helps with overall health, overall metabolism and health. External application of fenugreek provides relief from irritated skin and other conditions, and it acts as a pain reliever for muscle aches and fevers. A febrifuge, basically. So we're going to get into doses and interactions and stuff. So this is the important part. It is GRAS, generally recognized as safe. It is a safety class 2B, interaction class A. So it's well tolerated by most people. 2B suggests that fenugreek should not be used during pregnancy. In contrast with the class A indicates that no clinical interaction are expected when the herb appropriately is used in the Botanical Safety Handbook specifically. So doses are varied based on plant part and dosage form, like the powder, leaves, so on and so forth, and based on the medical condition. So the maximum recommended daily intake is 21 grams to avoid an overdose. 21 grams is a lot. So I don't think anybody ever needs that. So most testosterone-based research uses around 250 to 600 milligrams of fenugreek extract, while research on breast milk production is like 1 to 6 grams. Research on other areas used are like much higher doses. Cholesterol and blood sugar lowering effects of fenugreek suggest that doses could be between 5 and 25, which obviously it said before not to do more than 21 grams. But if you're having an herbalist, like a clinical herbalist, functional doctor, if they're watching you and prescribing it to you, you can trust it. That is not something I would prescribe to somebody, not those high doses. But those would be what a functional doctor would prescribe to somebody dealing with cholesterol, blood sugar, high blood sugars. It says people with peanut allergies should not have fenugreek. And they say don't have it while you're pregnant. I mean, you can have it culinary because it's not medicinal. Then it it. I mean, having it in your foods will benefit. But we're talking about like a teaspoon rather than 5 to 21 grams. That's a big difference. So, culinary use, medical use, big difference. Minor side effects can happen for somebody who is intolerant of it, like diarrhea, gas, nausea, vomiting, stomach upset. But you have to know that that's causing it and not something else. So I said peanut allergies are your interactions. Blood thinners, diabetes medications, heart-related medications, like beta blockers, calcium channel blockers, diuretics, um, potassium-lowering medications. Theophylline, it's an asthma medication. Um, it's not really used very much, but it will interact with fenugreek on a medicinal level. So you can use the seeds. You can, and people usually grind them up. Like I have them here again. You can find them in many Indian, Middle Eastern, and North African dishes. You can make a tea out of any of it, the leaves or the seeds. Seeds are most commonly used. 1 to 3 cups a day while breastfeeding is what you will use as collective bulk. And powder you can add to hot or cold water. You can add it to yogurt, breads, baked goods, teas. Put in homemade pickles. I have done that before. The leaves, pretty much impossible to find. Asian markets sometimes have frozen fenugreek leaves, but they can be challenging to find. But those are usually added to soups and curries and stuff like that. But it doesn't tend to grow here. It doesn't tend to grow over here. It tends to grow over here in the United States. It tends to grow over in like India, Middle Eastern countries, and Northern Africa. So sadly, we can't really. I guess we could try to grow it. No, you can try to grow anything you want. You can create. We have technology to create pretty much almost any environment. It just depends on how much you want to pay. So I will have the links that I gleaned information from down in the description below. And tell me what you'd like to see. Tell me what you'd like to hear about. I don't know what I'm going to do for next week. I can take fenugreek off the list. White clover is the one I have here on the list left, so maybe I'll do white clover because it's almost done in the season. We have a little bit, well, we don't have anything in my yard because my yard's crunchy right now because we haven't had enough rain. If you follow me over on our Facebook group, The Herbalist Garden, we're at 126K still, I think, which is totally fine with me. kind of weeding out the people who just want to argue, because you can't avoid bots in a group. You can't avoid argumentative people in a group. So sometimes the best thing's just to get rid of them. And things that like are controversial health wise. Yeah, oh boy, do they get their feathers all fluffed up over that stuff. And very particular. I understand that we want accurate information when we're putting up a meme or something, or sharing a picture. But look, I'm sharing it because it has some good information, not because all of it's good information. And you're responsible for your own research. I do my own. You're handed the ability to research further. Thank you so much for learning with me. Please feel free to join us around the Herbalist Garden on Facebook. I do have a TikTok, but it's not the Herbalist Garden. I should know. I need to recreate my outro. Thank you for being here. I believe we'll be doing white clover next, and it'll be good. And I'll see you back here next week. And let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Be kind. And I will see you next week. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.